from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your midday market report for Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Our weekly trip to the Windy City. The man, the myth, the legend, Colton Sroka. I tell you what, I had to bring a fire extinguisher into the office. This guy is hotter than molten lava right now. The mid-major king himself. I'm telling you right now, you better grab a notepad. You better grab a pen because this kid is spitting straight venom right now. No one more locked in the game right now than himself. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Mr. Colton Sroka.
Oh, there he is, live in prime time. Here I am, ready to rock and roll. It's been a long week, Jeff. Been a long week not seeing you, not talking to you. I'm ready to dive into some CBB. I'm ready to talk some mid-major. The boys here in the old U of I taking care of business against the Badgers last night. We can talk about that a little bit. Absolutely gorgeous day on this side of the screen. Appreciate you mentioning it there too. I'm a little hot right now. Not doing too bad on college basketball. Went 4-0 yesterday, swept the board. I'm now 9-1 on the week, 20-9 since Saturday, about up 8 units. So all you guys out there tailing, hope you've been tailing. I keep it moving. I keep it grooving. I promise you. Just keep sticking along. We'll keep bankrupting all these books. Jeff, as always, thanks for having me on, my friend.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, I couldn't be more opposite on the spectrum. I wore the Louis Carnesecca sweater today just to hope to bring myself some luck. Going back to The Color of Money and Paul Newman going in and, I'm going into Vision Center to get my eyes checked, get a new pair of glasses like Paul did before the tournament. And it's just like, I've never done more work in my life. I have more sources than ever source, and just I can't catch a break. I haven't closed a game. I'm not exaggerating that. I'm probably 0 for 38 in my last 38 games where in the final 2 minutes we're tied or, we're covering, put it that way. Haven't got a walk-off three-pointer like last night. We could have got the push with FSU. I mean, they were down 2 with 2 minutes to go. They get outscored 7-2 or something stupid. Twice last week, had the guy at the line with less than 2 seconds with a winning free throw to win the game. Clank, losing overtime. You name it, we got it. And it's just so frustrating. I have to go back to 2017 and remember that 30-2 run and say, hey, I know what we can do here. We're just exact opposites. So before we dive into anything, maybe explain, educate the listeners here on what you're seeing, whether you're using Ken Palm, you're using, I don't care who you're using, Wager Talk, Don Best, Sports Insight,
Sure.
covers, help the public to tell them how the hell are you doing it.
Now, let's see. That clank on the free throw, that was... Remind me who that was again. I'm trying to remember.
Colorado State.
That was Colorado State, that's right. And I had Wyoming in that game. So I was on the opposite side. Now, you just mentioned another game, Florida State-Clemson. I took Clemson minus the 3.5 yesterday. Now, I don't know about you, but I found similarities in mine and yours betting styles. We tried to read the money movement, read the lines, kind of see where the market's playing. Hey, you got 3 shows. You're reading the market all day long, trying to see who's coming in where, what's moving where. And I almost am starting to believe, my friend, that we cannot buy steam in college basketball. No matter what it is, where it is, no matter how sharp it looks, it simply does not matter in college basketball. And I know that is the hardest thing to try and convince yourself to come to terms with, especially when you do that. That's how you bet NFL. Obviously, NBA, it's very important as well. But with college basketball, I'm finding that the more, I don't want to say square, I don't want to ever say that I'm making public bets by any means, but the more that I try and find like a spot that so far this year, ooh, this is a trap spot, the books are moving this line, the more that I try and just say, honestly, forget those trap spots. Let's just see really what are the books. Do the books know what they are talking about or not? And what I've gone into is just, if I'm comfortable with my line, forget the money, forget the bets, forget the movement. If I'm comfortable with my number, if I'm comfortable with my side, more importantly, then sign me up. I'm all about it. Now, as far as what have I been using, I got a pretty solid process I got working right now. I typically start on OddsShark. Now, it's not end-all be-all by any means, but their computer picks are very solid. Now, sometimes I actually have some plays today where their computer picks are actually opposing me, and I actually like that sometimes. So I'll go a little bit deeper, and I'll open up the matchup. I'll see the trends, and then the trends typically tell a little bit different of a story and kind of tend to play into what I'm thinking as far as, okay, anytime in the past, last few seasons, X team would win. But this season, there's something weird going on, and it's almost 99% that Y team's going to win in this spot. So I start there. If I like what I'm seeing, I utilize the Action app too for kind of money, consensus bet splits and stuff. If I see kind of some solid movement, kind of something that intrigues me, maybe a team, for instance, I'll talk about it a little later, but a team maybe laying a short 2 on the road, and they're getting 80, 90% of bets, 80, 90% of money, and that line is going nowhere all day long, I'm tending to think that it's probably going to be that other side. Or maybe there's a side that is 30% of bets, 90% of money, right? Ooh, that's pretty doggone sharp. That we got to play that side. What I found is it's almost more monetary liability than anything, and it doesn't seem sharp. So I'll look at that. I get to moving on there, and then I kind of get down the covers rabbit hole, dive into some of the key stats and stuff like that, and KenPom as well. But I tell you what have you done for me lately has mattered so much in college basketball this year. Typically, you can really look historically, and typically it really matters because a lot of the guys stick around. I don't know if this is a transition year where a lot of seniors and juniors either hit the transfer portal, went to the NBA, whatever the case might be, but it feels very different from a historical trend standpoint, at least from what I can see, because I had a brutal December. The first 3 quarters of January were terrible, and now all of a sudden I've just turned a corner, and it's honestly just because I've stopped trying to find those spots. Oh, the books are setting me up, or a fade spot or whatever, and I've just honestly kind of just kept it a little more true and tried to stay away from a lot of those square plays.
Okay. I started this week calling them out as stench plays. What you were just talking about. Okay. I'll give you 2 from 2 days ago. Because I'm the guy just that you talked about. I'm like, Vegas knows something. No bleeping way. No banana in the tailpipe this time. I'll give you 2 from 2 days ago. Providence plus 3.5 at St. John's.
I'll stop you. Ed Cooley's living the American dream, CC John Rothstein. I don't give a damn what that line's at. You don't bet against Ed Cooley. Period. Point blank, period. Everybody in their dog. Oh, St. John's is so sharp. And that, I promise you, December to January, I was betting St. John's laying the 3.5 every single time. Period. Oh, Vegas knows something. They know something. Something's up. And I don't know why, Jeff. You can't think that way during this college basketball season. And I'm finding it out. I don't know why. Because 90% of the time I was laying the wood with the Johnnies. I love them. I love the Red Storm more than anybody. They were my team last year. They cashed tickets for me 5 times a week and twice on Saturday and Sunday, for crying out loud. And these boys can't do nothing this year. And I'm telling you, the books, and it's crazy. There was a spot like that before. Ohio was catching 3 on the road, the best team in the MAC, beating teams by double digits with both of their hands tied behind their back, for crying out loud. They are a wagon right now. They catch 3 on the road to Buffalo. They win by 24. Huh? That was the final straw for me. Shout out Riley, R-Mags, my man, R-Mags TTL Sports. I looked at him when that happened. I said, before we made the play, I said, it has to be, right? The books know something. Why would Buffalo be a favorite home? After that game, I changed my mindset. I was like, those are those spots that I'm talking about. That because the books know something. It's got to be set up. I don't know why, but for some reason, because last year it wasn't like that. You bet college basketball, you take St. John's 10 times out of 10, it's going to cash. This year, the steam, the sharps, the line movement, it don't matter worth a hot damn. I don't know why, my friend.
Davidson plus 3 at the Bonnies.
I took the Wildcats plus 3. Another one that I would have looked at 10 times out of 10 and said, Oh my gosh, the number one team in the A10 right now, or damn near close to it, is getting points on the road. Are you kidding me? They're undefeated in A10 play. The books know something. Somebody's going to be out. Something's going to be wrong. Again, didn't try to deduct it. I looked surface level, as square as that sounds, and I said, Davidson's just the better team. Davidson's point blank better. They're going to win this game outright. It doesn't feel good in my betting heart and what I know of betting college basketball, but my bankroll and what I've been seeing so far this year, it's what's got to happen. So 2 straight months of banana in the tailpipe, my friend, and I finally kind of started to play into I don't really know how to describe it, but it's those exact games when you have that thought of, damn, Vegas knows something. I got to play this sharp side because, yeah, the Johnnies look sharp as can be. The Bonnies, they look sharp as can be. Those were the sides to play. And then they ended up both losing outright. I mean, and terrible outright losses. And I mean, those are the exact games I'm talking about. So it's very interesting that you bring those up. It almost takes a veil of ignorance in those and kind of having some yawns to bet against yourself. Because like I said, how I started it, I see a lot of parallels in our betting game, and that is exactly how I would bet those games. And I know that's how you would be betting those games because I tuned in and I listened to you, and I was like, man, we're opposing for some reason. It's just this college basketball season. I don't know what it is or why it is, especially on Tuesdays. You wanna talk about a day that the public absolutely rakes on the books? Tuesdays. I don't know what it is. I mean, I write the college basketball blog, so who better to talk about or who would know? I mean, I look at it every Wednesday morning. I do the yesterday's trends, and it's just like, how is this possible? I mean, there'll be 10 sharp plays, and they'll go 2-7 or 2-3 or 2-8, 1-9, whatever the case might be, and it just blows my mind. I don't know. So be careful on Tuesdays for sure as well, especially with those spots. I found on Tuesdays, if you play the opposite of how you would, trying to get one up on the books, sometimes, for some reason, the books aren't being too smart this year. I don't know why.
And I'll stay in the Big East, and I got one more game for you.
Sure.
Bad loss by my Huskies to and then Saturday they got to face Nova, and of course Nova loses at Marquette yesterday, so they're not going to be happy. And the funny thing is, you talk about the Big East and you talk about Cooley. The 2 teams that are getting zero respect in the Big East right now is Marquette, Shaka, and Ed Cooley in Providence.
150%. In the Big East, I mean, you can ask Riley tomorrow or anybody that has been following my plays. The Big East has just been really my conference right now. And stay out of the way of Shaka. I almost didn't bet him last night. I almost didn't. I almost was crazy and took the sharp side with Villanova. I almost said vanilla. Villanova. And I said, no. I test. That's what just came to my mind, Jeff. If you are watching the Shaka Smart Revenge Tour, just bet on it continuing. Don't think, this is when it comes to an end. The son of a gun is on fire right now, and they made the Cats look stupid for all 40 minutes of that ball game last night. I took them plus the 4.5. I was going to sprinkle on the money line. I did, and I said, let's relax. Glad I didn't. Probably would have mushed it if I did, so thank God I didn't. Took the over 2. Absolutely gorgeous. The under was the sharp side. I don't know what it is, Mr. Dawson, but I'm telling you, some of these key games, those ones that you just think you're trying to get that edge up on the books, the books are messing up. The books are really messing the numbers up, and that's what I'm taking advantage of right now. Is that I'm watching these games. Are you guys who behind the counters? I mean, let me call Consig real quick. Yo, who you got behind the counter sleeping over there? Like, I mean, these lines ain't right. I mean, I can help you out with them if you need, but I don't know. It's wild because the dogs that are dogs shouldn't be dogs, and it's just like that feels like a trap. But then you play it and they win outright. Creighton. I took Creighton plus the 10.5. Everybody loved the Huskies. Huge. I saw it as monetary liability. Didn't see it as a sharp side. Took them. I said, I won't sprinkle on the money line. Again, thank God I didn't. Probably would have mushed it. 10.5, they went outright. So it's those spots, man. I think we're kind of getting to the bottom of it. Took a week around. We're chipping away. We're digging deep, Hey, takes a week to get through, but hell of a time to get hot right now. We got like 6, 7 games on everybody's schedule left. We got conference tournaments right around the corner. Then we got March Madness. Are you kidding me? Showtime live from the Circa Stadium swim. Oh man, I can't wait. I'm juiced. I'm ready for March. I mean, this is my time of the year. I've been nonstop tweeting at the old mid Major Madness Twitter page, and they're finally noticing me. So I think the Mid Major King's finally starting to come up somewhere in the Twitter sphere. So I'll keep putting in work for y'all.
Well, and I got to close this segment with the 2-point. 90-10. The line didn't move all day. Right up your alley last night. Yes, me. Southern Illinois +2.
Yeah, 150. Who ended up winning that one outright?
Missouri State won. Okay, so they're up 5 at half, and they just went on a 17-5 run to start the second half. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, I actually wrote about that one, and I was like, this is another one that I can't play because obviously being in Illinois. Thank you, JB Pritzker. You're the best, keeping me safe. I always take an opportunity. But can't bet on the Salukis, and I was looking at them +2, and I said, man, that's short. Like Missouri State's a wagon. Like they're a wagon. You can't bet against them. And I wrote about it. I said, this doesn't seem right, but if you're gonna play this game, and if you can, take a little sprinkle on the old Bears. But what do I know? I don't know shit about shit at the end of the day. And then there you go. They open up the second half. So it's almost like they're setting lines, looking at these games just from a first half perspective, and then it's just the second half is a completely different game. I don't know why, but somebody's sleeping behind the counter, Jeff, and your boy's taking advantage of it.
I got the board here, so we're going to let you take it away.
Yeah.
You give me the rotation number, I'll pull it up, and hopefully we have some numbers on it, and then you can have a blast with it.
Guess what, Jeff? I come prepared today. As I was doing my analysis last night and into this morning, I said, I got to be ready. I got the rotation numbers already written down. I ain't even got to crane my eyes. I'm already ready to rock and roll, Jeff. I'm proud of myself, if nonetheless. All right. So first one I got here, 731, 732. Going to a Big East matchup. Going to be St. John's Red Storm and the Georgetown Hoyas. Yes, sir. There it is. 731, 732. We're not going to a side. Took a while to there you are. Took a while to kind of decide that I wanted to stay away from a side in this one, and I ran some of my numbers, and I found that the total had a very, 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 very valuable side, and it was a setup line and a half. So we're calling this one the Big East Eliminator, my friends. And we're taking under 156.5. It is up to 157.5 again, but let me tell you about it. This line opened up 159. Quickly dropped down to 157 this morning, down to 156.5. That's where I caught it at. It's up to 157.5 now, but that's because the books messed this number up. Everybody was buying into it. They had no choice but to drop it down. Everybody's still buying into it, and they're trying to move it up 1 point to say, hey, okay, public getting off of work, please give us some money. We're moving this line up, when really it's been falling all day long. Do not buy into that. I told you I ran my numbers on this. I got 149.6, so I think we have a ridiculous amount of room to work with. I don't see anything more than 78 to 72 at maximum here. A key thing that you need to know about is these teams already have played, as you know, I'm sure, but if anybody out there didn't, the last game, St. John's whooped the Hoyas 88 to 69, and it was in St. John's. The total was set at 161.5, and it went under. You care to take a guess where that total finished at? 157.5, or 157, and it dropped down to 156.5 this morning. So I think this is a setup and a half, and I think this flies well under the total. But there's a couple of key things here. The one thing that the Johnnies are doing well right now is really playing defense, and so are the Hoyas. The Johnnies can score, but it's been positions like this all year where you think, oh, they're playing a lackluster team. They're going to absolutely light it up. This total's going to fly over. And in all actuality, you'll hear it when I get to the trends. They've been a wagon to the under. And again, if Georgetown has been able to do anything. I mean, they've lost their last 9 straight up, I think it is. The only thing they've been able to do is play defense. So I think that continues to stick here today. But you don't believe me on all of that. Believe the trends, my friends. The under's 5-1 in the Johnnies' last 6 overall. 5-2 their last 7 on the road. 4-2 their last 6 Big East matchups. The under is 8-3 in Georgetown's last 11 home games. 4-2 their last 6 in the month of February. And the under is 4-2 in the last 6 meetings between these two. So pretty solid trends there, my friends. First best bet of the day from ya boy, Big East Eliminator. The St. John's Red Storm, Georgetown Hoyas, under 156.5. Cool with the 157.5 too.
I was at the game a week ago when Georgetown was at UConn and down 12 at half, and the reason they were only, and I said only, down 12 at half, they hit 8 3-pointers in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they ended up getting blown out in the second half. So, okay, so we got the under. We'll call it under 157. St. John's, Georgetown, 6 p.m. start for everyone listening. Rotation number 731, 732.
100%. There you go. There you have it. I love that one. I think we got plenty of room to work with. Second one up on tap, my friend. Excuse me. A little bit of coffee there. Pardon me. Second best bet up on tap. We're going to Conference USA with this one, my friends. We're calling this the CUSA Crusher. We're bringing the books, absolutely obliterating them with this one. This is rotation number 735, 736, so just right on down there. Look at you, right on tap. WKU, the Hilltoppers against the Charlotte 49ers. And Jeff, my friend, this is one of them games, and this might be the setup of the day. We're taking the 49ers plus the 2. Got up this morning, might be a little differing. Looks like about 58-60 still on Western Kentucky from what I can see there on Wager Talk. This morning it was 87-87 bets and money splits at Consensus per Action Network. Shout out my guys over there. And that line had done nothing. Didn't move anywhere. And wouldn't you know it, it's still at 2 and 1.5 at open, and it just ticked up that little half point. So I'm not worried about that whatsoever. It's not going anywhere after everybody and their brothers throwing money at the Hilltoppers all day. Why am I so confident in this? Because the favored Hilltoppers have yet to win a game on the road, and this is a conference matchup. They're 0-5 straight up, 2-3 against the number, and 2-6 straight up in Conference USA East. Put a pin in that. We'll be right back to those conference standings because Charlotte 8-1 straight up and 5-4 against the number at home. Do not look at this as, oh, they're the dog. It's a setup. Look how good they are, 8-1 straight up at home. Vegas has just been messing up these numbers. I don't know why. You can simply buy into them being +2. They are the better team. They're 8-1 straight up at home. I absolutely love them here. 4-3 straight up in Conference USA East, so they are much better than Western Kentucky, regardless of what those top-line numbers would say. Now, you go a little bit deeper than those top-line numbers, and you'll see that this being in Charlotte makes huge dividends, waves for the 49ers. Home and away scoring splits look like this. Charlotte, 72.8 points per game and 65.9 points per game allowed. Western Kentucky only scoring 68.9 points per game and 75.4 points per game allowed on the road. Now, you can see the defensive side of the ball has not been good for Western Kentucky on the road, and it hasn't been good for them lately either. They're allowing, in their last 3 games, on average, 82.3 points per game. Simple comparison to Charlotte over their last 3 games defensively, they're only allowing 66.3 points per game. So I think the Charlotte defense shows up at home, and also their offense is going to have much better production in front of that home crowd. They are pretty solid in home court advantage, inside the top 100 for the 49ers. And if you look at the recent trends for Western Kentucky, you're going to think that this is, they got to get right at some point, right? They have to bounce back. There's a reason they're favored, and I'm not buying that spot. It's been a spot that I've gotten kicked in the mouth time and time and time again this season alone, and I'm telling you not to buy into it and trust that the 49ers +2 is the right side. But you don't believe me, believe the trends. Western Kentucky, 0-4-1 ATS, last 5 overall. 0-3-1 ATS, last 4, following a straight-up loss. 0-4 against the number of their last 4 as a favorite. 2-5 against the number of their last 7 as a road favorite. Charlotte 4-1 against the number of their last 5 following a straight-up loss. 6-1 against the number of their last 7 home games. 12-3-1 against the number of their last 16 as a home dog. Can you spell undervalued? Home team 6-2 ATS last 8 meetings. Charlotte is 6-3 against the number of the last 9 meetings, and they're also 5-1 against the number the last 6 meetings on their home hardwood against the Hilltoppers. Give me all of Charlotte +2 for my second best bet of the day.
Number 3.
Number 3, he doesn't even have to question it. He's all in. He's all the way on board. Let's go.
I mean, you're just talking exactly. That was right there.
Yep.
That game right there.
Yep.
Was last night's Missouri State Southern Illinois game.
Bingo.
Right.
Bingo. Yeah, it's those little things. So there you go. There you have it. Next one up on tap. We're going to another Conference USA matchup. This one I love even more than the last one, but I love them equally. Going to rotation number 759, 760, and we're calling this one the CUSA Crippler, because after we crushed the books with the last one, then they're not even gonna want to walk back around the counter. They're gonna be done, crippled, shattered, dreams busted. But I digress. We're going to Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, Florida Atlantic Owls. You can see it on the screen now, highlighted. We're taking FAU plus the 2.5. Again, another bit of line movement or lack thereof that really drew me to this play. Looking at it right now, what do we got? About 80% of tickets, 54% of money. Or is that, what am I
That's
seeing
on
there?
the total.
Oh, that's on the total. Okay. Either way, this morning when I was looking at it per action, they were getting about 83% of consensus bets. It wasn't giving me a money split either, but it looked like it was a severe public side on the Bulldogs. And that line still hasn't gone anywhere, my friends. 2.5 has held firm, and you would expect that to see to at least go to maybe 4.5 with how much of a public side Louisiana Tech appears to be, and it is simply not. Don't buy into them being 5-2 straight up and against the number on the road. They played Alabama, Northwestern State, North Carolina State, Santa Clara, UTEP, UTSA, USM. They've been huge favorites almost every time, and then in the spots where they weren't huge favorites, they've covered, they haven't covered. They've just been inconsistent, and the books really don't know how to value them, and I think they are completely overvalued in this spot. I think they should be the dogs. I think Florida Atlantic wins outright, but I'll take any points the books are willing to give me, because the Owls, they struggle on the road, but they don't do that at home. 10-3 straight up, 7-3 against the number on their home hardwood. And I follow one of the young men on their basketball team. His name's Everett Winchester. I suggest you give him a follow if you guys are on the Bird app on Twitter. He is a dog on the hardwood, and through me following him, I found out that this evening is going to be a whiteout game, you know, like the old Penn State likes to do, sometimes UConn likes to do. The kids show up, the kids get ruckus, and it is a wild affair, and it's something that most people would know about, but you got the mid-major Kings inside information. How about that? So it's going to be a whiteout. Again, I think Owls win this game, but I'll take every point that the books are willing to give me. Go a little bit deeper for you. A couple of key stats here. Home-away scoring splits, again, stood out to me. FAU scoring 78.6 on their home hardwood, only allowing 67.6. Compare that to the Bulldogs from Louisiana Tech scoring 72.8 away from home, or just away, and 70.6 points per game allowed on the road. Another key thing is the rebounds. Here lately, I talked about it on our show. You find a team that can win a rebounding battle and has a severe edge. It seems as though that those teams have been winning outright, and we have a solid edge with FAU. A Conference USA team in the Owls that is 115th per KenPom on the offensive glass and 69th on the defensive glass. Compare that to Louisiana Tech with a much bigger lineup, 235th on the offensive boards and 213th on the defensive boards. That's an edge I'll buy into every day of the week. But you don't believe me? Believe the trends. FAU, 5-1 ATS, last 6 overall. 5-0 ATS, last 5 home games. 4-0 ATS, last 4 as a home dog. 14-4 against the number of their last 18 Thursday games. 6-1 against the number of their last 7 versus a team with a straight-up winning percent greater than 600. And the Owls are 3-2 against the number of last 5 meetings with the Bulldogs. Third best bet of the day, the old Conference USA Crippler. Florida Atlantic Owls plus 2.5.
So we're seeing some trends here. I mean, some numbers. Your eyes see the same thing I do. And again, it's kind of funny, not to go back, but I think last Thursday when you were on the show, you started the day like 7-1, and the one game you lost was the one game we were on, and
Mm.
it's just amazing. I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing. Same thing. You're hot as a firecracker, and I use that spaghetti strainer. I always talk about that spaghetti strainer,
Mm.
and I shuffled it up last week where I on a Thursday sent out 5 games and 4 on a Friday, just trying to shake this thing up.
Well,
And
this is all you needed. You just needed me to come back around the bend because I was still struggling a little bit on Thursday, struggled a little bit on Friday, and then I don't know. I didn't drink over the weekend. I didn't do anything that I usually don't do. I didn't start a new workout regimen. I don't know. Things have just started clicking. I don't know. Maybe I've gotten the inside right, so the outside's starting to follow along. Jeff, I don't know. Who the hell am I? What am I to say? I have no clue. All I know is that I'm coming back around the bend, and I'm bringing the vibes, and I'm bringing the ticket cashers, and you're going to do the damn same today, my friend. Enough of that. I can't get off of these banana in the tailpipe. The banana's out of the damn tailpipe, Jeff. We're cashing fucking tickets today, all right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I know. Now, number 4. I digress. Calling this one the Big West Bankrupter. All the bookies are running in fear when they see this one. Rotation number 847, 848, my friend. Now I'm going to need you to get you an extra energy drink, an extra cup of coffee or two. Bring your nitroglycerin pills along as well, because this is a 10 p.m. Central tip-off. Going to be 11 o'clock for you and the viewers over there on the East Coast. So a bit of a late one, but only 8 o'clock for these boys on the hardwood, so not too late at all for them. I absolutely love the Rainbow Warriors, Hawaii plus 2.5. UCR has all of a sudden become this public favorite, this public darling, and they were solid early on in the year, and now they've just been way too inconsistent for me to confidently back them. 80% of consensus bets coming in on Riverside when I looked this morning. I would anticipate this by this time in the day to at least be up to 4.5. With seeing that, I'm seeing the books play around once again, only up to 3 in a few little spots there, still holding pretty firm at 2.5 across the market. So it makes me love the Rainbow Warriors plus 2.5 even more. You don't have to pay the juice on most books, and if I do say so myself, minus 105 is what I caught it at. And that's been pretty valuable for underdogs getting to minus 105. Now, you talk about a minus 112, minus 118. Odds like that, it tends to be on the side of the favorite. But for some reason, when it's at the 105, I don't know why, but the dogs have been taking care of business. Now, what does that have to do with the price of corn? Nah, not jack shit. I just wanted to mention it. And also then tell you about that Hawaii team that's been solid on the road, my friend. 3-1 straight up and against the number. This Rainbow Warriors squad is a lot different than what we've seen over the last 5, 6, 7 years. They are actually in first place in the Big West, 6-0, undefeated, and this is a classic case. Again, the books just messed up the number. They just are simply valuing the Warriors like they have over the course of the last few years, and you just can't do that. Point blank, period. UCR might be 6-3 straight up on their home hardwood, but they're only 3-4 against the number. Just a little bit too inconsistent, and they're only 4-3 straight up in Big West play, so I'm just simply not buying it. It's not a setup spot here for Hawaii, and I love them to keep rolling. We just talked about the game, Jeff. Davidson plus 2 on the road. It feels the exact same spot to me here once again. But if you don't believe me there, how about a couple of key stats? Now, I'm not worried about defense at all. Unlike the St. John's and Georgetown game I told you about, this one's going to be an all-offensive affair. Now, that being the case, it all lends into the favor of Hawaii, scoring about 72.9 points per game on average, only 63.5 points per game for the Highlanders of UC Riverside. On the road and at home, about the same story, 69.8 points per game for Hawaii on the road, 61.3 points per game at home for Riverside. And this is where it really got me. Now, Hawaii, 91st in true field goal percentage, 30th in true three-point field goal percentage, and 82nd in effective field goal per KenPom. Riverside, 298th in true field goal percentage, 334th in true three-point percentage, and 279th in effective field goal per KenPom. UCR is simply not going to have enough offense to keep up here with the Rainbow Warriors whatsoever. And I don't care that this is on their home hardwood. They should not be favored, and that is simply the only reason they're being favored. their home court advantage doesn't matter. It's rated 344th per KenPom in the nation. Remember, there's 358 college basketball teams. So don't buy into it. Do not think that Riverside is this absolute world beater. Hawaii should be favored. They continue to roll, take all the points the books are willing to give you. But you don't believe me. For the final time today, my friends, as always, my humble honor and pleasure. Hawaii. 6-1 ATS, last 7 overall. 5-1 ATS, the last 6, following a straight-up win. 4-1 against the number, the last 5, following an ATS loss. 4-1 ATS, last 5 road games. 5-2 ATS, last 7 as a dog. 17-8 against the number, the last 25 Thursday games. UCR, 1-4 ATS, last 5 versus a team with a winning straight-up record greater than 600. The dog is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings between these two against the number. The road team is 4-1 against the number the last 5 meetings. Hawaii is 4-2 against the number the last 6 meetings between these two, and Hawaii is 6-1 against the 6-1 against the number the last 7 meetings in Riverside, California. Give me all of the Rainbow Warriors plus 2.5, closing out the card. I think we got another clean sweep.
I want to ask you one quick question before we go to your patented parlay to end the show. Is Oregon 2.5 at Colorado? Is that the banana in the tailpipe today?
I think that's the banana in the tailpipe. I really do. I didn't have the Yones to get in the boat with the Buffaloes, but I like the Buffaloes 2.5. Buffaloes still have the number 1 home court advantage in the nation. That's always something key, something you really want to take note of, especially with it being a team like Buffalo. Let me move you over here so I can. There we go. Buffalo has been a squad all year that if you look at their ATS numbers at home, you'll say, why the hell would I even think about that? Again, another spot. Look at their straight up numbers. They were overvalued early on in the season. I'm talking 13, 14, 8, 9-point spreads. And now they're starting to play Pac-12 opponents, and they're getting so severely undervalued. It's stupid. I mean, they're winning outright. And I don't still have the full confidence in it, but I would say if I'm going anywhere, if you guys are dying for some action on some Pac-12, I made a promise to Mags. I made a promise to myself about a month ago that I would stay the hell out of the Pac-12. I was so tired of it smacking me in the mouth. I was done, so I just stayed away. But you want to get some action on this one, I would say I lean the Buffaloes plus 4.5 or plus 2.5 for sure.
We were on Washington State on Sunday minus the 4.5 against Colorado. They were up 30 in the second half, won by like 24-26. Closed out a 4-1, 420 action. 417 I got back our action parlay on Sunday. And I was just looking at that. People remember what they saw last, obviously, Colorado getting smacked by 25 on the road. And then this is that time of year that the Ducks usually get hot. They earlier last week they whacked someone by 30, so here they come, and now they got to come into Colorado, which again is not an easy spot.
Right, not at all. Yeah, like I said, still first in home court advantage per KenPom. So I mean, it ain't hard. And dead last, in case you find yourself in a trivia contest anytime soon. And this is, I don't know why it would be, but this is one of the answers or questions. The easiest place to play in all of college basketball. The Navy Midshipmen's home court. I don't know what it's called, but Navy Midshipmen have the easiest home court advantage in all of college basketball. More you know. How about that?
Stats, and more stats.
It's all up here, man. I just have papers and shit. I got to get it out somehow. I don't know. I just did numbers and digits and fucking it's all over the place. I got to get it out somehow. So just make a bunch of bets.
So you gave us the main course. Why don't you fill us in with a little dessert for the nightcap? How's that sound?
I love it. This is actually pretty much mid-major parlay. We're calling it the board bender parlay, the usual Thursday board bender parlay, but in specific, the Trojan horse board bender parlay. And if you care to know the backstory behind that, I suggest you just go pop in episode 216 of the TTL pod, and you'll hear my partner give a very precise very clean, clear cut, and I'm sure he's laughing right now, definition as to what this actually means and how everything's going to play out here today. So go check that out. But 4 legs on this bad boy, paying out over 11-1 odds. Again, a lot of undervalued spots here. So leg number 1, Troy Trojans plus 6.5. Right off the top of my head, let me make sure so I can tell you who they're playing. Sure, I don't sound like a total goofball here. Let's see.
At Georgia State.
Yeah, that's right. Georgia State. So Georgia State, not good against the number. 1-3 against the number on their home hardwood, and they are 4-3 straight up, or somewhere around 5-3 straight up. Well, those numbers don't equal, right? So it means that they've played some D2 opponents with no spread set. So just a few too many points here. I think it doesn't finish by more than 2, or maybe Little Rock wins this one outright. So I like all 6 with Arkansas Little Rock, the Trojans there. Partner love that one as well. Next one up, we got the Troy Trojans. Now you're putting it together. There we go. Troy plus 6.5. Or I'm sorry. Is that what? Yeah, I just said Troy. I'm sorry. There's too many doggone Trojans. We got University of Arkansas Little Rock. I'm sorry. That's the other Trojans. There's see. I'm even backwards on this damn thing. Okay, Arkansas Little Rock Trojans is because they're also getting 6.5 points. So UALR plus 6.5. They are playing the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana, ULL. I like this one too. Another classic case of just a little bit too many points. The Raging Cajuns just being a little bit overvalued on the road. Not nearly as good straight up, and they're pretty favorite. They're solid against the number, but it's because they've been dogs on the road. Obviously a big spread favorite here. I don't like it, and the Trojans of Arkansas Little Rock have been dominant at home as a dog as well. So love them there. Leg number 3, we got the Northern Kentucky Norsemen, the Norse, plus 3.5. They are playing Oakland. Very similar game to the Norse last matchup against Cleveland State. The Norse were actually down by about 15 points going into halftime, and they turned on another gear that I've never seen. I don't know what the coach said to them or what happened, but I mean, they turned around and won that game by double digits themselves, started knocking down shots. I think it was just a classic case of a weird first half. I think it's the worst first half they played all season. I think they come out hot against Oakland here and make a statement in conference play. I think they win outright, but as always, take all the points they're willing to give you. Northern Kentucky plus 3.5. And then Wyoming on the money line playing Boise State. Everybody seems to think that Boise State are the upset kids. This is a time that, Wyoming lets you down. I don't think so. Thursdays were built for Wyoming. Wyoming is built for right now. This is the first time that they've had in a long time staring up at a top spot in the Mountain West, and I think they solidify that today. So there you go. There you have it. Troy Trojans plus 6.5. Arkansas Little Rock plus 6.5. Northern Kentucky plus 3.5. And Wyoming on the money line.
Plenty of action for everyone tonight here, obviously. Colton, before we close here, I know I have the crawler going for you the whole show, but let's hear it from you, where everyone can find you, where they can find your podcasts, all that good stuff, yourself and Riley. This past week, Andrew McGinnis on your podcast, and he's our Wednesday cross the border into Canada NHL guru, and we passed the torch from him to you and from you to Riley to end the week. So give the listeners the hell, the horn, the bull, whatever you want to call it, where they can find you guys.
I'll give them all the way to the ass, my friend. Every time I forget to tell you this. So I don't have it on any of my social media, but my last name is Sroka. If you want to change that, just in case anybody is not SORK, just Sroka. Just in case anybody's looking. I mean, it doesn't matter for the price of corn, whatever. I mean,
I have to say this because you told me this a million times, and when I type in for the show and send you the link, I make sure of it, and I keep this banner up. And you know what? For some reason, I just didn't ever go in and change that. I don't know why.
Hey, no big thing.
That's why. Hey, listen, we are accepting applications for secretaries. So anyone that's willing to take this job on, it's great benefits. Trust me, I don't yell that much, honestly. So But there you go, brother.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Sroka, baby. Yes, sir. I was starting to think, I was like, is that how you really spell my name? I was starting to look at my last name. Is that fucking right? Got me backwards over here. Follow me on the Bird app, my friends, at Colt TTL Sports. You'll find nonsense, my friends. Everything from mid-major college basketball to UFC to NFTs and cryptocurrency. You will find it all there. Check me out at Colt TTL Sports. You can also follow me and my partner, all of our work at Talking the Line, Talking the Line Sports Media, where we do all of our shows, all of our daily handicapping, everything in between. We got the Daily Show, Talking the Line podcast, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central. We dish out all of our best bets of the day, break them down, just kind of keep it kick back, relax, stuff like this. And then we reserve the second half of the show for a little RMAG sidebar. We go down some rabbit holes, talk some shit, some nonsense. We like to be real human beings at the end of the day and be some guys that you like to drink some brews with while you're sweating some bets out. So stop by there. And then every Wednesday, shout out our guy, lover of Tim Hortons, wearer of Tooks, the great white North man himself, Andrew McKinnis, graced us with his presence yesterday on Wise Words. That's our Wednesday show. Drops every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Central, and then on every podcast directory. One more episode in season 2, and then we'll wrap up for a week or two, and then we'll go back into season 3. So can't believe we've already had 19 guests on now, about to have 20. We got another electric guest lined up here, and I cannot wait to bring them to you. And I can't wait to go on to season 3 too. I can't believe that we've already had this many. So check that out. Again, shout out Andrew if you're watching. Appreciate you, my man, for stopping by, coming on. And then every Saturday, you know me, mid-major king. And then we got my partner, the man, the myth, the legend. He's all about Big 10, Big 12, some of the bigger stuff he likes to keep his eyes on. So we do Cup of Joe on campus every Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central. And we break down the entire collegiate basketball slate. And then what else am I forgetting? Oh, the blogs. Every day except Monday. And then, I don't write it on. No, I do write it on Monday. I don't know. Whatever days I don't write it on, I do the college basketball blog. I release it. I got a daily college basketball blog I write every afternoon. I don't do it on the days I come on here, though. That was what I was trying to think of. I don't know what other days I don't do it on, but I know I don't do it on one other day. Either way, also UFC blog every Saturday. Check that out. I am a huge UFC fan, a huge UFC handicapper, so stop by, check that out. I break all the games or all the matchups too as well. If I don't have any action in a fight, I make sure and break that fight down too, just because of how much I love the sport. So check all that out. Check out my partner at RMAX TTL Sports. He's got his own blogs too. He's slowly but steadily becoming a PGA handicapper. Might be starting his own PGA blog. He was writing extra cheddar for his Packers, but we all know that that's not going so well anymore. So, hey, we'll stay off of that. It's about time to be the Super Bowl. Shout out our Max. Appreciate you, dude. Outside of that, that's my spiel. That's my pitch. Come hang out with us. We won't be the suits. We'll be the guys you want to, like I said, drink a beer with, hang out, sweat your bets out, and let's have a fun time.
And as you were speaking, Northern Kentucky, Oakland postponed due to weather. There's some bad weather out in that area.
Yeah.
Already today, we got Detroit, Wright State postponed, Memphis, Cincinnati postponed. I don't know why Wichita State, SMU would be postponed unless that's COVID. UTEP, North Texas.
Where's that game at? Is that at Southern Methodist?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
UTEP, North Texas. So they must have a storm as well.
Yeah,
Iowa, Ohio State, Coastal Carolina, UT Arlington. So it must be weather in Texas and also up in that Detroit area. So that
was one of my better bets of the day. UT Arlington -1.5 at home. They I'm glad I had an opportunity. Actually, you mentioned that. Keep your eyes on that team, guys. They have been a very, very under the radar team. And you got to play them in the right spot. Don't get crazy. But this was a great spot. Chanticleers, Coastal Carolina, terrible on the road. UT Arlington, excellent at home. They were short home favorites. I thought they were going to win by 6, 7, 8 tonight. And then I looked at it, I was like, wait, why is this on my book? And why, like, it's not on OddsShark, it's not on covers, like, what the hell's going on? Typed it in, canceled. I said, great, awesome, wonderful. So let's revamp today's strategy. But I got 4 winners still coming for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoy everything. And get your hiking shoes on. I'll meet you at the pay window this evening.
Can't thank you enough. It's always a blast. the energy. I call you the Energizer Bunny. I mean, it's just, and you're on fire right now, and nothing better than putting, 1 + 1 = 21 right now where you are. And just keep it up. It's in the right time of year as you're getting closer, as we're inching closer to the end of the season. Then we get the conference championships, and then obviously we get March Madness. So, I'll start sweating when you get at about 22-1, and it's getting closer to that 30-2 run, then I'll pass the torch. How's that?
Sure enough. And hey, I appreciate you, my friend. This is all I know. I don't go to bed until about 1 in the morning, get up at 5 in the morning. I'm always going. It's my dream. This is my passion. It's what I love. I love to share it with you guys. I love to come on here. I love to do all of our stuff. So I don't change. Everybody thinks that I get off of the show and I'm some different guy. I'm the same guy. So if you're talking to me somewhere on Twitter or on the Discord or in Chalkboard anywhere, I am the same guy. So I appreciate you, Jeff, and I appreciate your words, my man.
Always remember this. If you are wagering tonight, always wager with your head, not your heart. If you have a problem, pick up that phone. There's an 800 number there. Ask for help. Why? Because we care. We want you here today, tomorrow, tonight, next week, next month, and through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports and Bets, from Colton Sroka without 2 O's at Colt TTL Sports and Talking the Line. We wish you an amazing night. Cash some tickets, maybe cash that parlay. And we'll see you both at the window, and have a blessed day.